And we're live. Welcome back to Part Time Nerd with me, Alan. And joining me, as always now it seems, Mr. Rapid Dave. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good. You can't get rid of me. I'm
I
here,
can't
man.
get I tried. Sent the repo truck earlier and it got rejected. I don't know what happened. So we just got done watching episode number 11 of The Bad Batch, The Devil's Deal. This took us over to Ryloth,
Mhm.
where we met a familiar character.
Met a couple actually.
A couple, two, yeah, two.
Mhm.
So what are your initial thoughts? We'll get into that character here in a sec. Both those characters here in a second. But what are you thinking right now? Just got done watching it. What you got?
It's pretty much last week. It's another city or planet that's being taken over by the Empire, and hey, they're having a speech by the senator. Hey, let's all get on board, and then it gets to, hey, let's lay down our arms, which we've heard that we're here in the U.S., so we've heard stuff kind of close to that here recently. But anyway, all in all, it's not bad. You don't see the Bad Batch until the end. So this is the episode completely away from them, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. It wasn't bad, but it's another planet, and it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you gotta, the Empire's here, and you either cooperate or you get dealt with.
Yeah, yeah, and you definitely see that. You you only see the Bad Batch for just a little bit. Now you do see um, Crosshair quite a bit in this episode. He's part of the Empire now. He's still got the chip in him, and they've really been doing a number on him to make sure that he complies with everything. But this takes you to Ryloth, and you get to the first character you see two pretty much the same time. But the very first one you notice is Chopper. You
Hmm.
got Chopper in this, and then right after that you notice, oh crap, that's Hera. Before her name's actually said, you're like, that's Hera. Hera. And if you guys aren't familiar with who we're talking about, they're from the series Rebels, animated series that was on. I don't even know how long ago it was, but Rebels takes place 14 years after the fall of the Republic. So this is right there in the beginning. And like episode one, you start off with episode one. You saw Kanan in episode number one. So I'm curious if we're going to see some of these other characters uh, from Rebels in it. Is this kind of going to lead into Rebels as you're seeing these characters put in it? Is that something that might kind of end leading into that? I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
just think.
curious.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying it seems like this is Disney's play, right? They bring in characters that kind of, I don't know, fill a void, but they throw in some things that you've seen before. I mean, if you're new to this, hey, you don't know who Hera is, you don't know who Chopper is. When I saw Chopper, I go, oh my god, it's Chopper. I even wrote it down in like capital, letters and whatnot. But this is their game plan. This is what they do. So it wasn't surprising to now you're getting some more characters in here, but maybe they'll branch out a different direction. But obviously, the Bad Batch is focused around the Bad Batch, and they'll just keep trucking and going forward with them, hopefully. And they're just going to bring in random characters along the way.
Yeah, and it lets you see kind of an origin story of some of these characters. You heard Kanan kind of talk a little bit about his past in Rebels, but to see, the moment he was there for Order 66 and how he survived and got away and all that, it was cool to see that. And then you see, a young Hera, and you see her, and she's known as being this great pilot, and in this, she can't even take off or land right now. She's not doing that at all. They just have her just in between. We'll get to taking off, we'll get to landing, but right now let's just keep focusing on this and doing that. I think we're gonna pick right back up episode 12 where we left off with episode 11, because it just kind of ends with kind of Hera leaving. I think you might see something where maybe the Bad Batch comes back down. They might have noticed something was going on because you had Hera and Omega kind of made a connection, you
Hmm.
know, as the two kids there, and I'm interested to see it. It kind of left it like we're definitely going to see more going into this next episode.
And I'm okay with that. The one weird thing was the uncle was having the niece do a lot of weird janky stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like go spy on this or go do this. And the dad is Hera's dad is the general, right? Or commander of
Yeah,
the army.
yeah, General Commander.
Yeah. And it's like, why is the uncle one spending so much time with his kid, but then also putting the kid kind of in danger? You know what I mean? He specifically sent her out there to spy on the mining facility. Also brought her along for that cargo run. So
Yeah, I think part of that has to do with I think the mom's in on that though too, right? Because when they bring her back from the mining field, the mom's like, "So tell me everything you saw.
Right.
You're at the mining." She's like, "Well, I didn't tell you I was at the mining field." She's like, "Well, I have my ways. I know." You know? So I think it's kind of more back channel type stuff where the mom knows, but with her and her husband being at the level that they're at, and they really want, you hear his dad say he wants this to work out. He wants peace. He doesn't want to be at war, and he's hoping for the best in all this. And that's why he gives a speech to calm the crowd down. After the senator gives a speech, they want nothing to do with him. They want to hear from their commander, the one who led them in battle, who protected them. And
Right.
he straight up goes up there and says, "Look, everybody calm down now. Let's bring it on down. We're at peace now. There's no need for this. There's no need for any of this anymore." But then as they're starting to get disarmed, now he's having all the second thoughts. Well, I don't
Right.
like not being armed. You know, well, hey, we'll stand down. We'll let them protect us and things like that. But we got to be armed.
The
You know,
uncle's not having it. He goes, "No," and he even, he goes and, buys weapons from, he makes a transaction with Bad Batch, but it comes from the same person that's creating all these deals throughout the
yeah.
last 5 episodes or whatever, and, you know, all in all, not bad. I'm looking forward to next week is season finale, right?
No, we got 16 episodes, so we
16,
still
okay.
got yeah. So we got 5 left.
Okay. Next week, it should be a little bit more action anyways, just because there's no way they go back to the well again and show another planet going through the same. I mean, it's 2 weeks in a row. There's no way they do it 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and I think you've got to have that that head hitting with the Bad Batch and Crosshair,
Right,
and
right.
I'm hoping maybe it kind of leads to a innocence where they're trying to subdue him so they can take the chip out of him and things like that. Um, I'm curious to see where that's leading, and then you've also got. I still think you're going to have a run in with the rebellion a little bit more so, just because we haven't had anything come of that episode of the sisters, and the sisters telling, talking to it, pure speculation who they were talking to, right? You have no idea who they were talking to. A lot of people think it's Ahsoka is who they were talking to. We'll see, but I think this kind of ends with them maybe going more towards the rebellion side and seeing things. I guess kind of building towards that as every episode goes on, and they're having to learn to trust these people and those people and things like that. So,
Yeah, the Crosshair Bad Batch showdown, it's got to be the season finale, right? And I think they do get their hands on them. They remove the chip and everybody goes back. I mean, as you're watching these episodes, like especially today, another commander was second guessing what the Empire was doing. There, he was like, what was his name? Uh, Hazel Hosshair or something like that. I can't remember his name. Do what?
yeah, yeah, I was
Okay.
agreeing.
He's like, she's only a child. I mean, you can already kind of see there's something there. So I don't know what they did differently. Maybe they built all these commanders a little bit different, and the chips are just a little bit different, where they have a little bit of compassion or common sense, or they do a little bit more reason to thinking. Obviously, he made a judgment call by not alerting or reporting that that Hera was there spying. Damn well she was spying.
Yeah, yeah. It does it also have to do with that doesn't necessarily have to do with Order 66. Order 66 is get rid of the Jedi, and that's what
Right.
they built into their programming. And so this other stuff, maybe they do have a little bit more leeway, especially your commanders who have been around a lot longer, more battle tested, been through a lot more. Oh, those are options there.
I would say my most exciting part. Well, one after seeing Chopper,
Right.
most exciting part. I go, there's something with wheels on it. They're in a tank that has wheels. I'm like, oh my God, they figured it out. It doesn't have legs.
They
It's
discovered
got
the wheel.
wheels. Yeah, they discovered the wheels on this planet, and kudos to them. Thank whatever thing they think out there, but finally
But
something with wheels.
with the terrain you're dealing with and with technology the way it is, the wheel's kind of obsolete. Most things hover, right?
Yeah, the speeders were hovering and whatnot.
The speeders hover, a lot of your transports hover because the terrain you got to deal with, unless you're on a smooth planet, which I ain't seen one yet in Star Wars.
Mhm.
Period. It's all bumpy terrain, hilly ditches, things like that. So you want something that's gonna,
Canyons and cliffs.
yeah, Yeah, and
Now
I
they
think
did bring back the animal that the first time I've ever seen it was in Mandalorian. They brought it back towards the end of this, and that's what they're riding through the canyons on the top side while, the speeder's going through the valley. Did you notice that?
that guy up there.
That
You,
guy. Is that the guy? That looks like a bansh
you're not talking about
no, 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 no.
no.
No, not the that's a Baneth,
Oh,
a Banthy, or whatever. It's the one that it's like the fish-shaped head with 2 legs and a tail.
okay, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now.
That's what the people are riding as they're running along next to the thing with the wheels on it finally, the
But
armored vehicle.
they're catching up with them.
Mhm.
Wheels are obsolete.
The wheels are obsolete.
Hashtag less wheels.
Yeah, and then obviously at the end you see, obviously the Empire, they assassinated the senator or whoever it was.
I mean, that center had no control over that.
Dude, nah, not at all. But yeah, he gets us out. He's just a puppet, a pawn. If whether you agree, they only need you. The Empire only needs you to make the speech and say everything's okay, and then they will absolutely either if they can't use you as a puppet, they're offing you.
Yeah, and it's as long as they can control you and you're useful to them, they'll keep you around.
Mhm.
And once you're not, bye. It's been fun.
Exactly.
Bye, Felicia.
Jeez.
Oh man. So any more thoughts on this episode? That's really all I got. I wrote down the timeline a little bit, just the difference in time between Rebels and the Fall, and that's 14 years, just to kind of bring up, Hera's not that old in this, and Kanan wasn't that old either. So they were still really young when Rebels started, when that series was on, when they were going through all of that, and they kind of portrayed as older in those shows, but it just kind of shows you how much they had to grow up and how much they had to not have a childhood or anything like that because of the circumstances that surrounded them.
Right.
They're born in war.
Right, right. And just like a couple 100 years ago here, it was like, 14-year-olds were almost the man of the house. You know what I mean? You had to do almost everything your dad did. And
Yeah,
if your dad happened to get dropped, you had to step up and do it. I mean, it's unfortunately, but yeah, you're right. They're children of war where they're automatically at the age of like say 13, they're ready to go. You
yeah,
know what I mean? They've worked and they've been training or they haven't and they just thrust it into it. So
yeah.
but yeah, all in all, I like the episodes. I like all the shows. They're all like 20, 25 minutes long, really quick and easy, and they're not bad. I mean, the dialogue's not bad. The action's not bad.
Yeah, it's a fun series. I'm definitely enjoying it. Uh, Can't wait for next week. I'm definitely looking forward to Loki this next week, though, just to kind of diverge a little bit. Season finale of Loki will definitely be Wednesday morning. Our reaction video will be here as well. And then starting in August, they dropped the trailer for What If, and that looks amazing.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
I'm definitely, and that's you get the final performance of Chadwick Boseman in that.
Okay.
He did the voice for Black Panther in that, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yep, yep. All right, well, that's all we got for you guys today. We'll catch you next time. Until Wednesday, or you know what? This weekend, I'm gonna be dropping a special Black Widow reaction video. I'm gonna go see that today or tomorrow. Gonna take the kiddos to go see that, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna come on here and let you know what I thought. But until next time, deuces.